So the Clyde Climate Forest initiative has 3 strands for delivery. They include canopy, connectivity and carbon. So the canopy strand that we look at the urban kind of planting, we've actually identified target neighbourhoods. So these were identified as vulnerable postcodes, not only kind of socioeconomically, but also at risk for flood events and at risk for heat, for climate change because of the low amount of tree cover there. So we sort of prioritized those, and those are the ones we've been targeting. Connectivity is looking at habitat networks, and there's been studies as to how species move from the south of Scotland through and around the Glasgow city region up to the north to, you know, Argyll and Loch Lomond and Trusticks National Park. And the carbon strand is really looking more at larger plantations, probably more in the hill grounds, and all of that together, all 3 of those strands really, the whole idea of more trees is to help not only mitigate for climate change, but also of all of the other benefits we know trees do, like absorb carbon from the atmosphere, provide a nice landscape, health benefits for people, and also all the biodiversity benefits. So the Clyde Climate Forest has come out of the Glasgow and Clyde Valley Green Network strategy and is one of the strands of delivery that they're looking at, along with wetlands and several others. It's been supported by all 8 local authorities in the Glasgow City region, and all of the lead councillors have signed a concordat to help deliver the kind of initiative within each local authority. So the Clyde Climate Forest is a partnership initiative, and it's made up of a number of organisations. So I'm working for the Green Action Trust, as is a colleague of mine who's the programme manager. We have communication support from Glasgow and Clyde Valley Green Network, and we have support for liaison with schools, with Trees for Cities, and TCV, the conservation volunteers, are also a lead partner and helping deliver planting and volunteers on the ground. So we also have partners that fund us. We're getting funding from Scottish Forestry. We've had funding from the Woodland Trust Emergency Tree Fund, and we also have funding at the moment from the UK Shared Prosperity Fund. Obviously, we work with the local authorities as they've signed up to the Concordat and as part of the Glasgow City region. We have a canopy working group, and there's a representative from all the local authorities sit on that and help to identify areas for tree planting and kind of engage with their local communities as well to help deliver the tree planting.
Local authorities are probably one of the key partners in that they have a big land holding across the region. So they're one of the obvious partners that we can work with to actually plant trees. We can carry out tree planting on land that they own and that isn't perhaps been put to best use, if you like. The key way that we work is really through engaging in our planting projects, but also getting landowners and community groups to basically identify land that we can plant trees on. We've got this ambitious target to plant 18 million trees across the region in the next decade, but we need landowners to come forward with land suitable for that, and also communities to help us identify suitable sites. So it could be within a school ground, it could be a piece of ground at the end of your street, it could be within a community centre, or, you know, a piece of ground that you think has been underutilised and that might be suitable for tree planting. So we're really keen to engage with anyone that has these ideas and has land in mind to come forward and speak to us. I think the key way that we engage with young people is through the tree planting events. Young people are always really enthusiastic about getting their hands dirty and help to plant trees, so we link with local schools within our target neighbourhoods and areas where we are wanting to plant and engage these young people to come out and help us deliver that tree planting. Just really reconnecting people to nature, getting them to understand the importance of trees and the kind of fight for biodiversity loss and climate action.
what Clyde Climate Forest really wants to do is to find places to plant trees, and that's the biggest limiting factor. And what communities really want trees and where we can put them. And so I suppose working with the Lanarkshire Action Hub would mean that there's a resource there and a way for us to kind of share our message, and for communities to be able to come to us and say, actually, we have an area where we'd like to plant trees.
The key challenges are really identifying sites for planting, finding land that is suitable and there's a willing landowner. So we need everybody in the region to be helping to identify those sites, to be willing to consider tree planting, and we need people to be kind of keeping an eye on the trees that are being planted. We want them to grow and mature and to provide the benefits that we know that they can in terms of biodiversity and climate, but we need people to be looking after them and keeping an eye on them, helping to maintain them and make sure that they do kind of grow and deliver those benefits that we know they can deliver.
We are hoping to bring in place tree wardens from local communities that would be volunteers, and we're hoping to get a coordinator for that, and therefore we'd be able to help volunteers get access to training and learn more about trees in the natural environment, but also to look after the trees that are in their neighbourhoods.
Our plans for the future are to do more tree planting. In a nutshell, we want to be planting more trees, we want more people engaged in the initiative, and we would like more people to be helping to look after the trees that we plant. Clyde Climate Forest is a fantastic initiative. It's very ambitious. We obviously want to plant 80 million trees across the City region in the next decade, and we can't achieve that in isolation. We need everybody to be helping support that, and that's landowners, individuals and community groups. So we hope that everybody enthusiastically engages with our initiative.